Football Daft with Ewen and Grado, and we're delighted to have in the studio with us today a former Celtic, Sheffield Wednesday, St Johnstone, Dunfermline and Partick Thistle player, 396 career appearances with 64 goals. I'd have thought you'd scored more than that, so not particularly good in front of goal. 10 caps for Scotland. It's Simon Donnelly.
Good afternoon. 64 goals is inaccurate.
Yeah.
Is it? Well, that's the stats I've been put in front of me.
I know. What's that for Wikipedia?
What is the stat then?
Never
I think-
trust Wikipedia.
I'm closer to 80.
Close. Well, that's a better stat than 64.
Yep.
So we should sack the researcher.
Totally.
Well, let's just do that again. 396 career appearances and 80 plus goals with 10 caps for Scotland. That sounds better.
Aye.
Hiya, Simon.
How you doing?
You all right?
Aye, good, thanks. Good, thanks.
It's good to see you. Can I also, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass here when I say this, but you still look pretty young. How old are you?
44.
You're looking good for 44. How good is he looking?
You look like Leonardo DiCaprio or something like that. Do you ever get
There's a
that?
break.
Do you ever get that,
Used to,
DiCaprio?
more often than not these days, it's the wee guy off Game of Thrones.
I don't watch it. Do you watch Game
I
of
don't
Thrones?
watch it either, but people accuse me.
I tell you what, if Grado thinks you look like Leonardo DiCaprio, I would
We'll
take that.
I'll take it. definitely.
Aye, can I just tell a quick story? But once I was wrestling in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and a woman said to me, I don't know if this will make the ears, but she says, can I just say something to you? She says, I am a lesbian, but with that accent, you sound like a character from Game of Thrones, and I do you. That's what she said to me in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
I can't top that. That's so
Now, I don't know if that's sexist or whatever, but that's what her words. She come up to me full of tattoos at the bar. She says, I am a lesbian, but you sound like this guy from Game of Thrones, and I'd do you. I don't know if she wanted to do my cunting or pet me in the cheeks with a little kiss. Who knows?
Or bounce up and down on you.
Wait, fuck what? Shut up.
What do you think she wanted to do?
She was probably just after a selfie.
Right. See, before we talk about your career, Simon, right, there's something I want to do with you and Grado, because Grado's clearly a huge Rangers man.
Yep.
You're a big Celtic man, but I want to see how much you two have in common. So I've put together some quick-fire questions.
Yep.
And it's a this or that question. Grado will answer first, you'll answer second.
Yep.
And you've got to be honest here. You
Yeah,
up with
I get
that?
just it, yeah, on we go.
Grado, you ready for this? Rangers and Celtic. Let's see how much you two have in common. This or that. Ronaldo or Messi?
This. Ronaldo.
Messi.
What, do you want a...
No, it's just
is that
interesting.
a
That's
day?
okay.
Right, cool.
Cats or dogs, Grado?
Dogs.
Dogs.
Aye.
Leather or lace, Grado?
That's a hard one. Isn't it?
It's maybe quick fire.
It's maybe quite fine. Leather.
Leather.
Blonde or brunette, Grado?
Brunette.
Brunette.
You two have got a lot in common.
We do,
The only thing you've disagreed on yet is Ronaldo or Messi. McDonald's or KFC, Grado?
Both.
We can see that.
Well, I'm just going to say KFC because that's just newly opened in Stevenson.
That must have been a big event.
It was a big event. I told you it was 10 years in the making. KFC is now here. I frequent it 2-3 times a week. Shout out to KFC and Stevenson because they gave me the tub of the supercharger sauce.
You love the supercharger
For free,
sauce.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good, there's a good plug.
a good
The
plug.
Golden Arches for me.
Oh!
And what do you like about the Golden Arches?
Tell us.
What do I go for?
Yeah.
On the odd occasion, McChicken sandwich.
Okay.
I knew you'd pick that. Does one day you?
Aye.
Aye. So hold on. You
Maybe
go
a wee
down.
cheeseburger.
That's what I'm seeing. So you get a wee side order
A
there
wee
again as well.
cheeseburger, maybe.
Aye. You mean, come on, back in the day you would just get like a meal, but now you've got to just keep going and going and going and going, aren't you? Imagine I could never go in and just get a Big Mac and that's it. It would need to be Big Mac meal, large, with maybe an extra double cheeseburger.
You ever did the Big Mac challenge?
Now, what is that, Simon?
How many you can eat in the one sitting?
I've no.
You had a boy at Celtic gym slaving, I think he could do 8.
Really?
8?
8?
The Big Mac challenge, you could do 8.
Big Macs.
What decade was this, Simon? Because they did get weird.
Well, we're going back a wee bit, 90s.
No. 90s, then that would be a shift. But I'd say...
You know the sizes through the different decades.
Listen, well, for example,
Connoisseur.
I worked for McDonalds between 2004 and 2006.
Aha, there you go.
And even in between then, I was noticing the buns downsizing. And I wasn't a happy bunny.
Next question. McCoist or Larsson?
McCoist.
You can't say McCoist just because you're a Rangers man. Who was the better player?
Who was the better player?
McCoist, if you were putting together the best team possible, who would you want spearheading your attack, McCoist or Larsson?
McCoist. Alan McCoist.
Simon?
Well, he's got to say Loudrup, you know. Well, no, he's struggling.
Larsson?
Larsson.
Right.
Why Larsson over McCoist?
He's by far the better all-round player. McCoist was a fantastic goal scorer.
Who's the best finisher?
It's a good question.
I think
I would still say Henrik.
Okay. Tynecastle or Easter Road, Grado?
do you know what? Here's the funny deal. Oh no, I have been to Tynecastle. I like Tynecastle. The reason why I like Tynecastle, I never realised at the time, but I read Barry writing about how it was so close to the
Yeah, it's
pitch.
good. It's really good.
And I think that makes a difference.
Simon, you clearly played it both over the years. Easter Road or Tynecastle for you?
Well, they've changed over the years. Haven't
That's
they?
true, yeah.
I made my debut at Easter Road.
Oh, did
very,
you?
very different to the Easter Road.
Well, did you start that day?
Came off the bench.
Came off the bench, and how
Came
did
off
it
the
go for you?
bench. It was a non-event. I think we drew 0-0, but it was my first. It was my debut, so it's probably I'm the only guy that remembers that game. The current Easter Road's fantastic, I think.
Would you pick Easter Road just because it means so much to you?
To be honest, I like playing at both of those stadiums. Am I allowed to sit on the fence? I thought
If you had to
Going there with
choose, if you had
Celtic-
to choose one though, which one was the one that you would
going to
go?
upset you, Easter Road.
Would you pick Easter Road?
Now,
No,
Easter Road.
okay.
Now, aye.
Bath or shower, Grado?
Oh, I hate baths. I love a shower.
What are you
Oh,
eating? What are you eating?
A Revel. I don't know what one. It's an orange one.
So you'd have a shower. Do you never have a bath?
Went to see my ex-girlfriend left me in January. And the bath's not been ran once. Fuck your baths.
Did she like a bath?
Oh, she fucking loved them.
So is that why you don't like a bath?
She was up there for about 4 hours every night.
But who's she with?
Her iPad.
But who was on the iPad with her?
Aye, that's the question.
FaceTime. Simon, bath or shower?
Shower.
Shower.
Aye, I like showers. Do you not like showers?
Aye.
Aye,
A lot easier.
Aye, and they wake you up. And I always remember my French teacher, Miss Moffat, she always used to say, she said something really disgusting about how when you're bathing, you're really just swirling about in your own muck. Okay, what I mean? And that is true. 'Cause you start going in and about every single bit of crevice that you've been jumping about all day and it's thinging about. I mean, then you're taking a drink of water, but I'm telling you.
When you put it like that, definitely a shower. Definitely a shower.
But you never ever realise that, but do you?
This was meant to be quick fire, by the way.
I've got loads of tubs of bubble bath if you're wanting.
What about going back again? I'm referring back to my playing career. What about the big communal baths?
Would you use that when all the players were in it together?
Aye, if all my favourites are playing.
Right, moving on. Left hand or right hand?
Oh, right hand.
Every time?
Unless there's an injury to the area.
Simon, left or right
Right.
hand? Every time?
Yes.
Every time. Loudrup or Gaza?
Loudrup. Oh no, I thought you were going to say Loudrup Larson.
No.
Gaza.
You think Gaza better than
Aye.
Loudrup?
Aye. No, just because with me.
For you?
Because
He was your man.
yeah, no, just because I remember when me and my father went to Irox to watch the players jump on the bus to go Strachty Firhill, and we all waited on Gaza, and he didn't get on the bus. So eventually I ran up to the end of the bus.
You've told the story already.
All right, sorry, and Gaza was blowing a kiss to me, and I'll never ever forget it. Never forget it.
Simon, Gaza or Loudrup? Would you have played against both?
Played against
Aye,
both. They were
aye.
the bane of my life for a few seasons.
So you were on the same pitch as those two?
Aye. Both fantastic players.
Who would you have picked? Who would you want in your team if you had to choose one?
It's a difficult one.
Loudrup just.
edged. Loudrup. Yeah.
Why Loudrup? What was it about him that you would want him ahead of Gaza?
He never smashed me in the windpipe at Hampden. No, both fantastic football players. I think he just had It's a really difficult one. He shades it.
Loudrop gets it. The last one for you, kind of guy you are, truth or dare kind of guy, Grado.
Aye.
What are you?
Truth or dare?
Truth or dare, which one?
Truth.
You're a truth guy?
Yeah.
Simon, truth or dare?
Truth.
Truth guy, okay. So what did we learn from that, this or that quiz questions there?
I don't know. You go first, what do you think?
You like to
Be dominated.
And handcuffs.
be handcuffed
Yeah.
and submissive
Yes, that's right.
and eat KFCs. And plug KFC.
And Stevenson.
And not get paid for it.
It's good to have you here, Simon. Let's talk about your football career. Celtic, let's start there. And I think we'll probably just stay with Celtic and we'll touch on Partick Thistle as well. I think we might avoid Sheffield Wednesday because it didn't go particularly well.
Oh,
Okay,
I had them in
okay.
that. I had you in a
Sticky
thing with
elbow.
How do you know I was going to say that?
Oh, what else would you have, man?
What, a sticky album when he's at Sheffield Wednesday or Celtic?
Celtic, I remember on the sticky album, aye.
We Simon.
Well,
in
there
the
wasn't
book.
the fucking aye, right? Wasn't the best of. Oh, I know. I did
that
have that.
kinda dodgy
I had
one.
a few doubles in that one, to be fair.
Dodgy one.
A couple of doublers with Simon.
Aye. All the lassies in my class fancied you.
Because he looked like Leonardo DiCaprio. That's
Aye,
why.
aye.
Simon, let's. You mentioned already. You made your debut at Hibs,
Yeah.
right? You come off the bench. Big day for you. Was that towards the end of that season, or how old were you
Yeah,
at that point?
I would have been 19.
19, right? Okay. So you're coming towards the end of that particular season. You make your debut at Easter Road. How many games did you actually play for Celtic that season?
I think I had 12 appearances. I had 2 sub-appearances. So it was Hibs then Motherwell. Motherwell was at Celtic Park, so got my first experience. It was the old Celtic Park with the old jungle. I think the jungle was seated. And then I made my full starting debut midweek against Wraith Rovers and scored 2.
So how many goals did you score towards the end of that season?
I played the last 10, started the last 10, scored 5.
Who's your manager at that time?
Lou McCarry.
And he labelled you the next Dalglish,
He
didn't he?
labelled me the new Dalglish, yeah.
Was it
or
at
the
that
next-
point, towards the end of the season, when you'd banged in those goals, he was like going, "Oh, we've got."
I don't know. I think he didn't label me. I think he said my style of play reminded. He'd obviously played with Dalglish, and Dalglish for me was an absolute hero of mine growing up. He was at Liverpool by the time I
That's
can
right.
remember him, obviously, and my dad was a big fan and had a heavy influence off my dad.
Did you feel that pressure when he names Dalglish in the same
I didn't.
breath as you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't
I
feel it?
didn't. No, I get more stick in the dressing room with the players winding me up about it. Probably the reserve boys because they were all on my level. They would all wind me up about it, but it never really affected anything I did in the pitch because he was my hero. So I don't think he was trying to say I was him. He was saying there was little bits of my play that reminded him,
Yeah.
which I took as a compliment.
And you were 19,
Yeah.
so you break into the Celtic team. You have a fantastic end to the season. A lot is expected you in the pre-season, the build-up to the new season.
Yeah.
Lou McCarry doesn't survive.
No, Tommy Burns came in.
So Lou McCarry goes.
Yeah.
Tommy Burns comes in. Do you think, just when Lou McCarry's put me into the team, Tommy might not fancy me?
No, it's funny. I can't say anything against McCarry because he gave me my debut, and I'm thankful for that. But I don't think he was the favourite of the experienced players in the dressing room for whatever reason. As I say, I was just happy to be involved. I came in and scored 5 goals in 10 games.
Do you think player power got him out the door?
I think there was a wee bit of that. I don't remember him being around a lot. I think he got a lot of stick for being back down the road. As I say, at 19, you're just happy to be in and around it. You don't have much of a say, apart from just going out and performing. With Tommy coming in, I was really excited because I'd worked with Tommy with under-21s, with Tommy Craig.
So you knew Tommy then?
I knew of him. I actually went to Tenerife, 94, with my mates, and we're walking along the beach, and we're playing that, you maybe played at your lookalikes, your spotting guys. Bearing in mind it was Tenerife and it was a boys' holiday, and we're probably a wee bit worse for wear. And I've went, there's Tommy Burns, and it was Tommy Burns. And he was soon to become
Celtic manager.
my boss.
Yeah.
But he was great with it, and it was brilliant for my career, Tommy Burns. The first season at Hampden wasn't particularly great, but once we got back to Celtic Park and he was bringing in the calibre of player that he brought in.
And do you want to bypass that season at Celtic Park? At
at
Hampden
Park? Well,
Because you didn't score, did you?
No, after breaking in and scoring 5 and 10, and I actually thought this is easy. You know, I stupidly thought, is this what it's going to be like always? And I come back for the next season, and obviously everybody's aware of you. You're not the new kid in the block anymore, and senior pros are out to get you. And I had a couple of wee injury problems. We weren't particularly flying, and I struggled that season.
What season was that?
94, 95, I think. So you soon come back down to the ground after the kind of highs of breaking into the team and scoring goals. I kind of came back to reality a wee bit. I had to go away and build myself up, come back, hopefully stronger. But yeah, that season I never scored a goal, and Peter Grant reminds me of it. He said it was the only season in his Celtic career that he scored more goals than a striker at the club, and he get one. so it wasn't a particularly great season.
So season 94-95 under Tommy Burns at Hampden was a season to forget. That was a season to...
The positive for me was he signed Pierre.
Pierre Van Hooijdonk, that's what I've got to say.
He signed
Were you
Pierre.
about to ask that, were you?
It's just the funny thing is, my brother used to always wind me up at the time because I was always brought up a mega Rangers fan, and he's choking to come on this podcast and say, because when I was young, he used to go, "Who's your favourite player?" And I'd go, "Pierre Van Hooijdonk," because as a boy, Pierre was. I mean, all the boys that's got the Celtic fans at school, Pierre, there's only one Pierre. He just was. I mean, the height of him and
The stature, everything.
the presence that he had. He was definitely in an era where Rangers players had great Rangers players. He was one. If you felt what team could they walk into?
Yeah,
Ibrox, he would have been able to walk into that team. I feel Pierre.
So what was it like when Pierre? So 94-95. Forget that. Did you know he was good when he first came through the door?
I'd never heard of him.
You never heard of him?
Admit, I'd never heard of the guy. But then you watch him play football, and fantastic. And really, he helped the young boys in a way that he would go back. It's old cliche watching him going back after training and practicing free kicks, but he did. And it encouraged you as a young boy. If it's good enough for him, I'm doing it. And it was a real good influence. And again, football being a team game, when you're playing with better players, your game picks up. You get more confident. And Van Hooijdonk for me was a top. I mean, you talk about the stats. If you look at his stats, wherever he's went, his goal to game ratio. He's played in the semi-final of a World Cup. He's a fantastic player. One of the best I've played with.
So Van Hooijdonk is the first piece of the Tommy Burns jigsaw.
Yeah.
Because that summer comes and you sign who?
I think...
What season are we talking here again?
No, you're asking.
It's in 95-96?
95-96, I think. And he signs Andy Tom. Again, another player who I'd never heard of, but we went away to Germany pre-season and Pierre knew of him. I remember the boys saying to Pierre, is he a player? And he was saying, yeah, very good player. So Andy Tom came in. We had Cadet.
So Tommy Burns is already making his impact then?
He was bringing in a different calibre of player. We still
And a
had
different
players
style.
there. I mean, we had Paul McStay's and John Collins, good football players, great football players. McStay, again, an absolute genius of a player. But he was bringing in guys to complement that and go and challenge this guy's team that we're talking about with your Gascoignes and your Laudrups, which I think we started getting closer to Rangers, with
the likes of Tom and Cadetti.
Definitely. I remember a 3 each at Ibrox.
He scored, did he know, and he got choked off? Is it no Andy Tom that scored?
Cadet scored.
Cadet scored.
Cadet scored. I'm glad you remembered that.
I was at that game. It was my first Old Firm game.
It was onside, wasn't it?
No. So, did you play in that game?
Yeah.
That was one. I mean, I was only 8 at the time, but I thought, wow, because that was a game where the goalies, saved.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it was. So hold on, because Rangers scored a goal as well. They get Thistle, don't they?
That's right, aye. Yeah, I think you're right.
And then Jenny McNeil never knew, because I remember, I can remember that somebody saying it was always Rangers 1, Celtic 0. It was a good 10 minutes before somebody clicked on and went,
I know,
that goal's been disallowed, and
it
it's
still
taken
said
ages.
1-0,
It still said 1-0 for ages.
That.
So, see, when you draw 3-3 Rangers that season, you're thinking we're getting closer to them.
I think there was
a belief.
There was a belief because obviously
they were going for 8. Was that 8 they were going for?
They were going for 8 that year.
There was a see when you started bringing those type of players in to enhance what we had. You could feel the belief. You could feel we were getting better as a team. Alan Stubbs was coming in at the back.
Was Jackie around that time at fullback? Jackie McNamara?
Jackie was there. Jackie came in 95. He came in 95. So there was players there that we knew we could improve the team and get closer to Rangers. It was giving you, as you say, a belief, a confidence. And that season, I think we only get beat once.
That's right.
Too many draws.
And Tommy Burns still lost his job, having lost just one game.
Aye, and that's what I kind of, because the football that he brought back to the club, they call it the kind of Celtic way.
Yeah.
It was attacking, fast-flowing football.
Yeah.
Out with the year that I won the league, it's probably the best I enjoyed playing there. And I get a lot of fans coming up and remembering that because of the football you were putting out.
Was Tommy Burns treated shabbily by Celtic that season? Because he did have to rebuild that team.
Yeah.
And he did. You lose one game. Yes, you lose the league.
Yeah.
But the groundwork had been made. The platform was there to then go again.
Yeah.
Was that a shock to you that he got sacked?
Aye, it was a big disappointment.
Was it?
Aye. It came on the back of the Fall Cup semi-finals.
Yeah.
We drew and then we get beat in the Wednesday night in the replay. And that's what kind of done it.
Do you think if he had won that game and got to the final, he'd have been all right?
Football. I think he would have won the league with Celtic.
So Wim Jansen comes in and he's under pressure to stop 10 in a row.
Yeah.
He signs this lad called Henrik Larsson.
Yeah.
He comes in, has a stinker at Hibs on his opening day. Right? And everyone's going, who is this boy? He's rubbish.
Aye, that is right. What was that? Was that a pre-season?
No, that was the first game
of
the season. He was. I think you lose 2-0, don't you?
Looking back on it now, it was chaotic because we had about 8 or 9 players come in over that first bit of the season. You had your Burleys, your Lamberts, Larson obviously, Reaper came in. There was 6 or 7 came in.
So it took away time to gel in then.
Well, we get beat the first 2, and bearing in mind you're going to try and stop the 10.
Aye.
It's
With the likes of Loudrop and Gaz on the team.
The worst possible start. And then we went to McDermott Park midweek, and we beat them in the Cup, St Johnstone, and then we went back up on the Saturday, I think, and beat them in the league 2-0, and that was the first wee turning point. And then we get to a period of the season where we drew Liverpool in the UEFA Cup.
Mm-hmm.
And albeit going out and away goals, we actually were the better team, I thought. And that was, for me, that's the first bit I remember this team could actually achieve something this year. We're actually beginning to gel.
So that after that Liverpool game, you start to believe that this could be the year.
I thought this team could do something. And Henrik...
Did you know that Henrik was going to be as good as he turned out to be, or was there...
I knew Henrik for the 94 World Cup with the hair, with his dreadlocks, and he scored in the 3rd and 4th playoff against, I think it was Bulgaria.
Yeah,
I
that's
was
right.
like, Grado here, you can remember these things.
I think Stoichkov scored in that game as well.
Aye.
Yeah.
So I knew of him from that. I knew he'd been at Feyenoord with Wim. Things weren't going well for him, and I think Wim and his absolute what a decision, he thought this could be a platform for Henrik to get his career back on track. Playing him up front, knew the boy inside out, and well, the rest is history with Henrik. You know, he just kicked on.
Is there a point where in time where is it somebody like Vim, or was Murdo his assistant then?
Aye, because Murdo actually came in. Murdo came to the club. Murdo tells us, again, I didn't know this at the time, Murdo came to the club and he wasn't sure what capacity he was going to
be.
Yeah, he thought maybe reserve coach or whatever.
Aye.
And then because we didn't have a manager at the time, he was asked to take the team to Holland pre-season.
Right.
And then even when Vim came in, Murdo was like, I'm not sure what role he wants
Still
for me.
getting to know the team.
And after a couple of pre-season games, I think Vim took him aside and said, listen, I want you to be my assistant. So he actually came back to the club not knowing what role he was going to play, and turned out to be the assistant manager, and a tremendous year for them.
But when you look at that Rangers team that was on paper that season, and the pressure's on you to stop 10 in a row, did you feel that pressure as a player in the dressing room? Were you aware of the enormity of what was going to happen if you didn't win the league?
See, looking back at 44, I don't think I could handle it now at 44, knowing such importance. At 24,
were you not aware of it?
the only time I really felt pressure that season, honestly, is when I get taken off in the last game against St Johnstone at 1-0 and Harold came on, and you're a supporter.
Aye.
You're sitting on the bench and you're just a supporter.
But you should have won the league the week before.
We should have, and it should have been my goal. It took us over the... We beat them firmly. I remember Rangers were playing the night, the day before.
Played Kelly, I think.
Played Kelly.
Aye.
And
Do
Kelly...
you remember that, Grado?
Yes.
Aye.
That's because I think if Rangers had got the 3 points, what would have happened? If Rangers get the 3 points against Kelly...
I think you'd have still had the say in what happened. Once you get beat off Kilmarnock,
That was
it was in our hands.
It was in your hands.
For the first time.
No, I don't know. Did Rangers draw? Was it nothing
get
each?
beat.
It was 1-0.
So you see, so Rangers get beat. Did the following night you played Dunfermline?
We played in the afternoon. The Sunday afternoon we were through at Dunfermline.
So you already know the Rangers score.
We know if we win at Dunfermline, it's ours.
The league's yours.
It's ours.
And so you score.
Yeah.
It's 1-0. You're playing. You're going. I've scored the goal. It's winning the league.
I can remember with about half an hour, 20 minutes of that game left. It comes into your head. You're thinking, my goal's going to be the goal that takes us over the line here. And it was more kind of for my family. What an achievement. You know, my dad sitting in the stand.
So you're thinking it while you're running around East End Park?
It entered my head, it did. And then Gouldy, there's a long ball goes into the box, and Gouldy comes and then stops, and a guy who was on loan for God knows where, Falconbridge, remember his name, haunts me to this day, rose like an eagle and headed it into the net.
Aye.
So then it obviously goes to the final day.
I do remember what I remember about that Rangers and Kelly game is because obviously at the time, I'd have been 10 at the time, and I just...
You make me feel old.
I know, but I do remember that day coming out Ibrox and grown men just in tears going, that's it, and that is it over, and folk were just coming out absolutely distraught. But obviously in my young naive mind, I'm thinking to myself, it's fine, we've got it, don't worry, it'll work out, 10 in a row's still coming, and I've just got that vivid memory of folk walking out going, wow, that's it, it's completely
You've lost
blue.
it.
We've lost it, and actually...
So it goes down to the last game of the season.
It goes to the last season, and I was at I went to the Beanbag at Ibrox because at that time there was no such thing as your Satanta or whatever.
Yeah.
Rangers got the rights to show it at Ibrox, so there was a good 20,000-30,000 people.
And you were at the Beanbag game.
We were at the Beanbag waiting on. You were at Tannadice, is it right?
yous were at Tannadice.
We were at Tannadice. We were watching the game. You were at home to St Johnstone. Aye, and
so how's the atmosphere at Ibrox for you as a Rangers fan when you're a wee kid?
I think when did Celtic score the 60th minute?
65th,
Aye,
70th minute maybe.
70th
Were
minute.
Rangers winning at this point?
Rangers.
Were Rangers in front and we're basically winning the league?
I think so, because we could tell Henry scores after a few minutes, and we're thinking this could just be a run-of-the-mill 4-0, and we're over the line here. And the longer the game went at 1-0, St Johnstone had a couple of chances at 1-0, and I could just tell by the way the crowd were reacting that Rangers, I'm assuming, you might be able to correct me, I think they were winning. I think they had it if we were going to slip up.
If you drew, yeah.
So then Harold scores the second goal, and it was relief.
Aye.
You could just feel relief in the whole stadium.
And that's when we all emptied, kind of thing, in a day. And I remember being a young boy as well at the time, and no kind of, it didn't really make sense to me. I remember going up the road and my mum going, "What happened?" And I'll go, "Dad, do you think we'll get 10 in a row next year then?"
Can they work out?
No, why you didn't work out? I go, "But we'll get 10 in a row next year, Dad, will we know?" Just remember that going on. No.
And see, you get taken off in that game and you become a fan for 25 minutes and you know what's going on with the Rangers game.
Aye.
It's nervy stuff.
It's
You're
horrendous,
1-0 up.
Aye.
See, when that second goal goes in, do you remember that moment and what was that like?
I jumped on Lisbon Lion John Clark's back, and surprisingly never took him to the floor. I remember it. He was a kit man, an absolute legend of a guy, and he was just the first guy there. The whole dugout emptied, and I found myself on poor John Clark's back.
And what was that feeling like, knowing that you'd stopped 10 in a row?
It was amazing, but I honestly, I really don't. I think you look back on it now and you realise how important it was. At the time, you're taking it in. I think the experience.
And you're enjoying the moment.
You're enjoying the moment. But we had a bizarre situation where, on the back of the Cadete signing, we were obliged to go to Portugal the next morning to play Sporting Lisbon the next night. Can you believe that?
The night after you win the league?
Night after one league, so you can imagine what we've been
The Nickies.
partying.
Aye.
And we're turning up at the airport on Celtic duty. Fly over there. The game was a non-event, 0-0. Jackie and Dan Jackson chucked injuries in. Stayed on the bus drinking beers. I had to play the whole right side for the 90 minutes, hungover. We drew 0-0, but we had a right good 2 or 3 days out there, as you can imagine. But that's where Vim broke the news and said, "I'm away." We couldn't
I
believe it.
only stayed one season.
Well,
didn't I?
you're not going to top
That's
that,
right,
are you?
aye.
Really, if truth be told.
Could you imagine there's more football players like that, football managers like that?
Aye.
That's such a kind of...
Would you say that would be the highlight of your football career, that winning that league and stopping Rangers winning 10? Or when you look back now, and the significance of that moment, you can properly appreciate it.
100%. I'm proud to say that I was involved in it. You know, I played my part in that team. That team are quite close. All the guys for that team, you know, we kind of try to meet up as regular as you can. You know, some of
So you're quite a close
Whereabouts
unit because of
cheese
what
me
you
up?
achieved. Sorry?
Whereabouts cheese me up?
I'm not telling you. But listen, it's difficult in football. You kind of ships passing the night at times, but it's good to see the boys because you've all went through it. You've all experienced. It's an important part in Celtic's history that year. And there was another great moment. It was the World Cup that year
That's
as
right,
well,
98.
and we were flying back from Portugal, hungover again, and that's when we all get the text through. There was, I think, 8 of us went, and we were all hoping to be in that squad. And I remember us standing, you know, you're going through security at the airport to come back, and the first guy was getting the text, and the next guy, and you're thinking, please. And it was a great moment. There was 7 of us get picked at that point, so you're all congratulating. We're all going to the World Cup, and I think Gouldy was the 8th because Gorham
He pulled it
pulled out once we were in America for the kind of tour before it.
Yeah.
So Gouldy became. So there was 8 of us there who had just won the league, and all went to the World Cup. So that is without a doubt my highlight.
Favourite year as well, probably then.
Definitely,
That 98.
aye, yep.
Being at the World Cup with Scotland as well, winning the league, stopping 10 in a row and playing with Scotland.
Doesn't get any better.
No. Who was the best player you played with at Celtic? Because you've played with some absolute crackers. When you think about Van Hooijdonk, your De Canios, your Cadettes, your Andres Tom, Henrik Larsson, Lambert, McStay.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go on. For you, who was the most talented and the best player you played with?
I was lucky enough to play with guys. You talk about an education coming through. I played my first. I think I started my first game up front with Charlie Nicholas, who was coming to the end of his career, but as a footballer, an absolute genius, and I learned stuff off him.
Of Nicholas?
Aye.
I thought you were going to say De Canio.
I'm not saying he's my best. I'm gearing up to that.
Right.
Nicholas was. You learned off every player. Is what I'm trying to say. McStay's in that. You pick things up off these guys, but Larsson has to be the best for me.
So Larsson number 1. Who else would be in your top 3?
Put me on the spot. I would say Lubo.
2.
And 3. Difficult.
All right, then let's make this better if you can think of a third.
I'd say Paul McStay.
All right, that's a good one. Right, now give me the 3 worst. Come on. Come on.
And you're thinking,
Who did you think?
3
Right. Reggie Blanca. Come on, give me what?
Reggie?
What?
Did you know like Reggie get
No, do you know
Reggie
what?
get a hard deal because
I did get a hard
pulled
deal,
out a tackle and everybody remembers it.
And also because of the Reggie stinker and all that. And
The
all this
Raymond
kind of-
slang.
Aye, all that. Did you ever witness a scrap in the dressing room? Like a really, really bad one that you'd allowed to say? No.
all the time.
Aye. Does it happen all the time?
All the time.
And is it more when you were winning or when you were getting bet?
No, it could be in training. We were speaking about it before we came on air earlier on. Henrik and Tosh McKinley was the biggest one, and it wasn't so much a fight. It was Tosh stuck the head in him, and it was the day before a Rangers game, and there was fans there at Barrowfield watching, and it was a hell of a Glasgow kiss. Aye.
And how did that affect the football, the game?
It was funny because at the time Vim had come in, and it was a wee bit. What Vim liked to do was play the guys that had the jersey against the guys that didn't have the jersey. So obviously there was a bit of needle, but it brought an intensity to training, and it overspilled. And there was a wee bit. People were coming in, and it was maybe a wee bit cliquey at that point, you know, with the Dutch and the Scandinavians a wee bit, and that kind of broke all the barriers. Ironically enough, that happening, everything just they kind of kissed and made up. Later on, I think Tosh went to his house and apologised to Henrik a couple of days later.
Really?
And I think that kind of was a wee turning because that was the '98 season.
Yeah.
Did you play? Sorry,
Go on.
Did you play under John Barnes?
No,
You never did.
I missed out on John.
Is that just when you had left? Aye.
I just left, so I'd signed a pre-contract in the February or the January.
Did you sign the same time as Paolo? No.
He was leaving just as he
Right.
was there the year before me.
Right.
So me and Phil O'Donnell went down.
So you were one of the first players in Scotland to take advantage of the Bosman ruling. Would that be right?
Well, I think maybe John Collins was one of the...
When he went to Monaco?
Aye, but me and Phil, and looking back on it, we took a bit of stick for that.
Ah, you did.
We took a bit of stick. And it wasn't to... You can understand it, you've decided you're moving on.
Did you get a good signing on fee, did you?
Aye, the deal was good. The deal was good.
I mean, listen, if it's there, take advantage of it.
The thing is, people say, I mean, I get somebody on Twitter saying to me the other night, I jumped ship to Sheffield. I had 7 years at Celtic. I had 7 years. I was there for 17 to 24.
They forget that, don't they?
And the thing is, if I'm advising myself at 24 to go there, and it's nothing against Sheffield Wednesday, because my boy was born in Sheffield, and I've got a lot of good memories with Sheffield, a lot of good people there, and a fantastic club. If I was advising myself at 24, if I was moved, I wouldn't have went to Sheffield Wednesday. They were struggling in the bottom of the Premiership.
Did you make a mistake?
It didn't suit my style of play. I was in a team where we were 95% of the time were attacking.
Can I ask then why? Were you blinded by the money?
No, it wasn't the money. The deal was good.
Right.
The deal was good.
So what? Did you not do your research?
Maybe because see, when I look back at it at 44, I remember sitting. They were down there, almost relegated that year. I remember me and Phil sitting going, gee, I hope they don't get relegated. We're signing for a champ, because I wanted to play in the Premiership. Now you're at 24, I've played maybe 5.5 seasons in the Celtic first team. And I was quite a shy guy at 24. You're 7 years in the Goldfish Bowl. I went down to Sheffield, nobody recognised me. There was a load of different reasons that I made the decision.
Yeah.
But I can honestly say, and I've said to Celtic fans when they ask me now, again, it's no disrespect to the people that were in that dressing room. I could tell after a month at Sheffield Wednesday, who were in the Premiership, that I was in a lesser dressing room than I'd left.
Wow.
If you know what I mean.
And that was a Premiership club. And that was a bad move. So we'll leave that there. Just before we go any further, you had a really good time and successful time with Jackie McNamara in management. Do you think you'll ever get back into it?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
No interest?
No.
Why?
Because when it's good, it's really good. We built a team at Partick.
So Jackie asked you to be his assistant at Partick?
Yeah, Jackie came in.
And then he asked you to be his assistant?
Retired me.
Retired you?
Retired me.
He's right.
You were still playing with Partick,
Loves
though,
to tell everybody about it. I remember he got the job for 5 games at the end of the season. We were more or less, look, shows what you can do and we'll give you it for real next season. And he says, look, I want you as my number 2. And I'm 35 at the time, and I'm saying, look, I'll play. I can play a bit. He says, no, I want you sitting here, eyes and ears here beside me.
And that was your football career
that was
over?
fine, but from that day forward, he's told everybody that he's the guy that retired me. I could probably have played for another couple of seasons. But
you had a good time of
we
it,
built a
Partick.
team there that went on to win the league.
Yeah.
Alan Archibald took over when we went to United. They came up.
He did okay with it.
Yeah.
He took on what you'd started.
Yeah.
You go to Dundee
get
United.
We went to United, and we had to...
Did you work with Andy Robertson?
Aye, we signed Andy.
You signed
Where
Andy
was that?
Robertson?
Was that at Queen's Park?
Queen's
oh,
Park.
No, Dundee United.
Queen's Park to
signed
Dundee
him.
United,
We
right?
signed him. Fantastic boy, fantastic career, but just there was some talent there. Excuse me, there was real talent in that squad. But he was above it with the way he went about his business.
But you would never have guessed at that point he'd be a Champions League winner, would you?
No, not at all. But I knew he was going to have a good career.
Well, you signed him because you clearly thought he was a good player.
We actually signed him, and we were looking at somebody else. We were actually thinking, right, we'll get maybe a experience on the left side, and if Andy pushes in, great, but we'll give him the time. And we went to Germany pre-season, and Andy blew us away with just what he was doing on the pitch, that we didn't even take the other guy. And Andy started as our left back. His one season at United, I think he scored 4 or 5 goals, rampaging forward, and we couldn't afford him anymore. He was away to the Premiership with Hull.
Just one season.
But what he did in training was he went about his business every day as if...
Did you know in pre-season that this boy had something, he could go places?
Once we seen him playing.
Aye.
Because it was unassuming. He was like this, he's built up now, but he was just a wee boy at the time. But as I say, when you watch him day in, day out, the way he applied himself at training, you knew he was going to go further.
Remember I said to you the other day, kind of reminded me a wee bit of Billy Gilmer, the way Billy Gilmer goes on.
Yeah.
I think just when I hear them talking and stuff like that, I wonder if that's his
head screwed
See,
on.
aye,
Eh?
He had the rejection at Celtic, didn't he?
That's
He went
right,
back to
aye.
Queen's
Well,
Park
aye,
and stuff,
aye.
and had to bounce back, and he deserves
Because Dundee
everything.
got 3 million for him. Was it
Is that where they
3 million
go?
got?
3 million, was it?
Maybe
A wee bit more
plus
than I think there was add-ons as well.
percentages of-
Yeah. So well done, you, Simon and Jackie.
Why be a scout for Rangers now?
Listen, that was a good period, but to go back to your, it soon can go the other way.
Aye, it can.
You know, you have to sell the players. Things get turned on us a wee bit about that, but you can't deny these boys. 3 of them went to Celtic, 1 went to Sporting Lisbon, 1 went to the Premiership. How can you deny their futures?
Yeah.
The boys moving on.
But it shows what a good job you did.
But then you're expected to pull rabbits out the hat for the next season, and if you don't, then you're next on the line.
I noticed you ignored Grado's question. Or any reason?
For scouting for Rangers?
Aye.
Nah, I couldn't do that.
But I think that, is there a couple of ex-Oldfirm players that have done that? And I've said, what was the year? What was the deal a couple of years ago with Kenny Dalglish back in the day? What was that? Remember that? Was it 1999, 2000? Was it Murray offered Dalglish a job? Remember that?
Yeah.
Did
And
they?
it was only for a couple of weeks. I don't know what happened. They just
I
popped into
vaguely
my
remember.
head.
I don't know
What
what the
was
role
that?
was.
Was
I'm
that a
not
scout?
sure. I'm not sure
Can't
what it
remember
was.
what that was. Before I let you go, Simon, it's been fascinating speaking to you. You're running a soccer academy or
I
a
am.
football academy
Yes.
over the summer,
Yes.
which kids can get involved in, and it's great that you're putting something back into the community. If there's mums and dads out there listening to the show right now and they want to get involved with the Simon Donnelly with the Simon Donnelly Football Academy, how do they go about doing that? Because you're doing it quite close to where we are in
We're doing
Glasgow
it just
Green.
across the road here at Glasgow Green. We had a week at Easter. It was me and Charlie Miller. On the back of me doing one last October, and the numbers been so good, I asked Charlie to come in and do it with us. It was good for the Celtic Rangers thing, and we had a really successful Easter week. So we're doing 4 weeks across the road at Glasgow Green. You can follow us on Twitter, SD13 Sports, Instagram, Charlie Miller Academy as well. All the details are there. There's still spaces. We're going to have this man down at some
Aye,
point.
I'm going to come down. Aye, a couple of training sessions.
Creating
Are
chaos.
you?
Well, because you know what, I get offered quite a lot of stuff like that, and I went doing one day, and the setup was brilliant. Honestly,
enjoy
it was brilliant. Honestly,
It was good. We had Callum McGregor came along to meet the kids. Barry Ferguson, Scott McDowell, Marvin Andrews.
Aye.
The kids when their eyes light
All
up
the
and the
stars.
boys walk. So we're going to hopefully have some more guests.
Aye.
And it will
Come down yourself.
I will pop down. So,
Aye.
so parents, just get online,
Yep.
register your kids,
Yep.
and then
Monday to Friday.
Oh, brilliant. Throughout the
early-
summer?
Yeah, throughout the summer. Starts on the 1st of July. Early drop off, for mums and dads working. We'll be there for 9 o'clock onwards.
Wow, that's
Aye.
good.
No, definitely. I
And
can
Grado
do
will be
look
there
at
as
it.
well.
I'll be there.
You
Aye.
won't be wrestling the kids,
Right.
will you?
No, I'll not be wrestling the kids, but I'll just be keeping everything's order. I may have the leotard underneath just in case it all kicks off. But no, I need to get my fitness. It's kind of off season for me now with
So you're going
with
to
the wrestling.
so you're looking at Simon and Charlie, so you for your fitness.
see if
Aye,
they'll
we
get
can
me.
do it.
Aye, get me. Get me down for Big Daddy to Medium Daddy.
Simon, the soccer football academy sounds amazing over the summer there. So get yourselves involved in that if you can, or if you want your kids involved with Simon and Charlie Miller and the likes of Grado as well and other football players. That'd be good. Simon, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in and talking to us. Cheers, mate.
Aye,
Cheers,
thanks very
thanks,
much.
thanks, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.